Hey, Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakadash, Yahweh, who the word English calls God, Yahweh Shai, who the word English calls Jesus. When he give it up honor to the apostles of great millstone, who has taught me this truth. When he give a peace and blessings to the Akim, across the four corners of the earth, will teach this truth and risk their life to do so. It's going to be a quick video. Lord will do those edifying, lonely acting, get something from this video. Quick video through the spirit, man, in transit. On the way back from camp, a couple of things I want to say, man. I was talking to one of the bros earlier, and I kind of got reminded of a situation that I had to endure when I first came into the truth, or really when I first got exposed to the truth, man, and which kind of helped forward me into getting into the truth, because it was the only thing I really had at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like at the time, life wasn't doing what I had planned for it. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be like that. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like that. The Lord directed the steps of a man, and that's what you ultimately gotta realize. You gotta ultimately realize that and know that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't know that, then you'll end up confused. You'll end up thinking that you got more power than what you actually got. You know what I'm saying? Which could, end up fucking your mind up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to get into the brother situation or whatever. But I'll speak a little bit of mine. And it was two different situations, but it kind of reminded me of mine. You know what I'm saying? But, it came a time, and I'm going to just touch on mine. I ain't going to, maybe I'll do another video, testimonial video about it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not right now. But touch on a couple different things. But basically, something had happened to where, I ended up, having to put, sound corny now, but my dreams on hold. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And when I did that, everything kind of turned on me, you know what I'm saying, including family, the woman I was with at the time, her family, close relatives, all kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? And it was almost like it was almost like they were waiting for that to happen. It's like I was down and they were stumping on me, man. And when I opened my eyes and looked, it was my peers, the people that I thought had love for me, that I loved, you know what I'm saying? And that right there will fuck you up mentally. You know what I'm saying? Until you're able to get over it. But what you'll start to notice is that you'll be able to use it for fuel to do things or remember when you get comfortable, or, because it's ups and downs in this thing we call life, man. You know what I'm saying? And what keep you grounded is shit, remembering things like that. Remembering shit like that. You dig what I'm saying? But while all that, at the time, my woman had the girl I was with at the time, she was going to a big ass college, which was the #1 party school at the time, you know what I'm saying, and finna get around all these sport playing niggas, and these niggas with names and notoriety and all that. And the girl was I don't want to give too much detail about the bride, the bitch ain't that important, but the girl was built like a girl was built, man. Built white chick. Built like a, built in all the right areas, I'll say. You know what I'm saying? So I even have family, when they seen her, family would be like, when I, used to take her to family house and shit like that. Family would be like, yeah, I'll leave and go to the bathroom or something. If my family members, close family members, would be like, yeah, she gonna cheat on him in college. And hey, man, it was fucked up that's what they were saying, but they spoke like her ass too big, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, she gonna definitely cheat on him when she go to college, you know what I'm saying? Which shows you how they ultimately felt about me and how they felt about the situation, judging the situation. But it ultimately ended up happening, you know what I'm saying? And that happened all at the same time with me getting kicked out the house, car breaking down, man. Situation was just fucked up. I had to live in You know, one of the bros, which, you know, we both went into camp at the time, but I had to live at his mom's house. You know what I'm saying? He was there too, I think, till he ended up going to Minnesota at the time when he came back. But, you know, I had to live in his sister room, bro. When I had to share it with another one of our partners that we went to high school with. You know what I'm saying? And, really, he would sleep on the couch and I'd sleep in the bro's sister room. You know what I'm saying? And me and the bro's sister used to like each other, man. You know what I'm saying? Years before that time. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why I really got to stay in her room is because she ended up moving out with the dude she was dealing with at the time. You know what I'm saying? And at the time I remember when they had broke up. You know what I'm saying? And what the scripture says, Sirach, man, when you live in someone else's house, you know what I'm saying? You know, but you know, that's not an ideal situation you want to be in. You brothers could read about it. It's in the book of Sirach, you know what I'm saying? What happens when you live in other people's house. But she ended up coming back home and she couldn't even sleep in her room because I was living in that motherfucker, man. She had to sleep with her mom and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like I was waking up in the morning, man, going to meeting my manager by the light pole, you know what I'm saying? By the light pole, and he would have to, like, by the freeway. Light pole by the freeway, because my car, I didn't have a car, right? And he would pick me up at like 6 something in the morning. I'll meet him by the street light, by the freeway. We'll hop on the freeway. We'll drive to work. Get to work by like 7:45. 7:30, 7:45, and stay sometimes at 9:30, 9:45, 10. You know what I mean? Stay late. Most of the time, if I'm not mistaken, it was so long ago, but most of the time, if I'm not mistaken, I would leave work. Me and him be the last one to leave. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, the Lord ended up blessing me to get out that situation. I ended up getting a car and I'm getting my first spot after that and all that. So the Lord got me through that. You know what I mean? And how I got kicked out the house is even crazy. And when I do a testimonial video on it, I'll give detail. But how that even happened, man, that, you know, my own mom, man, tried to hit me in the back of the head with the metal part of the iron, man. You know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't for my little brother, really if it wasn't for the Lord, but my little brother, because I didn't see it coming, my little brother ended up catching her hand. You know what I'm saying? And one thing led to another, fists start flying, and I didn't put my hands on my mom, obviously. And from what I could see, my brother didn't either. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, she started swinging on us. It was just time to go at that point. So, and that goes to show you, like, how we grow up in a so-called black community. It's fucked up. Our you know, women of our nation that became, like, mothers of our nation that became like ostriches, like the scriptures say. Plenty who, you know, use the dust to cover their eggs, like, no protection. You know what I mean? You don't give a fuck about the youth, man. I think the bird is the ostrich, if I'm not mistaken. But bros could correct me if I'm wrong, please do. But long story short, man, one monumental thing that happened that I'll never forget, man. I was with the girl. This is before she ended up, you know, enrolling in the college. She was already going, like, she already committed to that college or whatever. But this be like a couple weeks or a couple months. Don't know the timeline because it's so long ago. This right before she was getting ready to go and live up there, live at the college. You know what I'm saying? In a dorm. And I remember, you know, I was broke at the time, man. My car was breaking down every other day, every other week. I'd be walking to and fro from work, getting paid like $75 every Thursday. It was fucked up situation. But, you know, her aunt, I was sitting in the back seat, man. I know we going through the drive-thru at Carl's Jr., man, and her auntie, she was in the front. Her auntie was driving. I was in the back. Her auntie ended up looking at me and was like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "I'll just get the same thing she get." You know what I'm saying? And she turned around. She was like, "Hey, I just want to ask you a question. Are you just going to bag groceries while she goes to college? Like, what do you plan on doing with your life?" Like, but she said it in a way where it was like degrading. And then her own mother was like, you know, "Oh, I don't want her to be locked down in college. I want her to have the full college experience." You know what I'm saying? And basically, I want my daughter to be a slut without worrying about it or having to be loyal to you and this and that. And the funny thing about the story is that years later, I was in a better position. I mean, I was in a, I was getting, I was in a great position that, from where I was previously at. You know what I'm saying? I went from bagging groceries, getting paid nothing to, making, enough money to where I was able to afford, $2,700 in rent. You know what I'm saying? So you just imagine, how much, increase I had. You know what I'm saying? And I remember her brother years later. Now, mind you, this is like damn near a little less than a decade later. Her brother ended up walking into the job I worked at and was like, man, I just want to tell you, man, you dodged the bullet. Because he ain't all worked there. He's like, man, you dodged the bullet, man, by leaving my sister, man. Her life fucked up now and this and that. And it just came back full circle. You know what I'm saying? And that was the beautiful thing about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the bitch did what she did or whatever. And ultimately it's paying the consequence even to this day. Now she's nowhere to be found. You know what I'm saying? I heard she was on drugs or she got big and fucking with the wrong niggas and all kind of shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Lost cars and houses and, the bitch end up, But all in all, you have people around me, man, clowning on me, man. Somebody near and dear to me, man, that helped raise me. Like a father figure end up clowning me about the shit. Like, he said one joke, he was like, yeah, man, you walking around. He said my slave name. He was like, yeah, man, we're walking around here mad. Man, how you gonna go to college and better your life without me? Like, and everybody busting. I remember that. Everybody busting out laughing in the living room. And you know what I'm saying? So, shit like that happened, And it was like, I'll go into detail again. The Lord willing, the Lord, Spirit hop on me to do a testimonial video. And I'll give more detail. But for time purposes, I'm just skimming through the story or whatever, saying things that come into mind that I'm remembering. And, it was like, as soon as I fell, it was like, my mama had something to say, boom, people I loved had something to say, boom. It was stumping on me, bow, 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 beating my ass, kicking me while I was down, beating me, fucking me up, man. It was fucked up. And the scripture I kept going back to was Mark 9:42. If you offend one of the little ones that believe in Yahweh Shai, was better that the millstone was hung about your neck and you were cast into the sea. You got a lot of you people out here running your fucking mouth. You got a lot of people out here that know okay, if you know a prophet. You know what I'm saying? A prophet might be a friend, or for the women, you might be with a man of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And you talking shit, running your mouth, bumping your fucking gums, showing how you truly feel. Kicking the man while he down, kicking the man while he going through it. Because you might be having it or getting blessed at the time. And you think that's godliness. But here it is, you got a man of the Lord who accepted his walk and accepted what came with it and going through it, which is honorable. Something you ain't did, but you got everything to say. Everything to say. All the shit to talk. Every joke in the book about that particular person's situation. Offending the man. When a man potentially, if he's delivered, then you could potentially be delivered. You think gain is godliness. This money, this whatever situation, so-called success. But the real honorable thing is, a man really trying to change his ways. A man sacrificing what he could have been in the world to be in the truth. Yeah. But you weren't honorable. You couldn't do it. You can't do it. You weren't called to do it. but you're running your fucking mouth. But you can be a help though. And I can't get you blessed. But instead of being a help, if you do help, you making it a burden. Like if it ain't hard enough, you adding to it. It's almost better if you didn't do it. That's what I'm saying. You motherfuckers got a lot to say about the men of the Lord, man. You got a lot to say, but you don't understand the walk. And you heard the truth just like we did. What you do? You got a lot to you people have a lot to fucking say. Even you niggas that call yourself Israelites, that's off on the doctrine. You niggas got a lot to say, huh? Niggas got every joke in the world. Niggas got every, you know what I'm saying? That's why when judgment get to rolling out and shit start happening to you people, and you see the very men that you talk shit about, or the very men that you ran your mouth about, or made fake ass AI videos about of them doing things that they would never do, trying to frame them or try to falsely accuse them, and when you niggas start getting punished, how can you expect anybody to feel bad, man? To you or your household. How can you? Nah, nigga. Remember what the fuck you did. Nah, bitch. Remember what the fuck you said. Remember what the fuck you did. When this shit get to rolling like it's about to roll, remember that. Stand on it. Stand on it. All the jokes, all the shit you said in the inside of in your head, that didn't come out your mouth, but you thought about it and you acted upon it. Remember that. Yeah, all right. Remember that. Like it says, Wisdom of Solomon in the 5th chapter, where have our vaunting profited us? What have our riches got us? Nothing. We wearied in the way of destruction. Your counsel was of wickedness, not righteousness. But the beautiful thing about the situation is that you see how people truly feel about you, man. And if you did have, let's say we was big names in the world, or we was this or that, or the chief part of the chief men of the world, you would pretend like you love us. You would pretend like you submissive. You would pretend like you fuck with us. You would pretend like everything is all good. You would pretend like, you know, this man is the man of the year every day. You would pretend like it, huh? That's how you know somebody, how they truly feel about you, man. That's how you fucking, that's how you know. Like, oh yeah, okay, I see how this shit gonna go. I see, oh, okay, bet. But as long as the Lord got us, man, hey, if the Lord is with us, who could be against us, man? So go, you know, you stacking, all you doing is all you doing is stacking shit against yourself. That's all you doing. Stacking shit against yourself. And when it come down on you, got to pay that tab. When you got to pay that tab with your life, stand on it. Stand on it, man. Stand on it, man. Lord said, what was that in Isaiah? It said Isaiah, Jeremiah, if I'm not mistaken. We've been called from the chiefest men among the earth. Hey, you had men back in the wilderness that had fame amongst Israel. And what happened to their ass? With their influence, now the earth opened his mouth and swallowed them up, man. Come on, man. Lord ain't with you because you got some fucking notoriety. Lord ain't with you because you got some money. Lord not with you because you in a good position. The fuck is you talking about, man? Now, I ain't saying all that. If you got notoriety, I ain't saying that that's wicked. If you got some change or you got some, you know what I'm saying? Because the scripture saying, Sirach, if you could do well for yourself, do well for yourself. I'm not saying that that's wicked. Having money, you know, in Ecclesiastes says money answereth all things, you know? Money is a defense. So if you having it your way and all that, okay, cool. That don't make you wicked. It's what you do with it. You know what I'm saying? It's what you do with it, man. You know? So yeah, man. Mark 9:42. You offend one of the little ones that believe in Yahweh Shah was better than a millstone was hung about your neck and you were cast into the sea. it was better if you drowned to death than to offend one of the little ones that believe in Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, man. Don't forget that, man. Whether you believe it or not, that statement is true. Because just because you don't believe that. Just because you don't believe that don't mean it ain't gonna come to pass. To be honest, I don't give a fuck what y'all believe. Niggas not in the truth, no way. You bitches not in the truth, no way. Fuck y'all. Real talk, man. And the closer we get to that time, the more it's gonna be fuck y'all, man. For real. If you ain't down with the Lord, man, hey, you going on somewhere with the bullshit. Real talk. Hey, so with that, man, I want to do this edifying. I got something for this video. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kakadash. I'm tell you, brothers, keep pushing out to the next other one.